Well, good day everybody, and welcome to my channel Whiskey Journey. Today I don't really have a review for you guys, but I'm going to be doing a batch comparison between these two Springbank 15-year-olds. As you're probably aware, it was Springbank Day quite recently, and there was a flood of new releases. So we had the local barley 13-year-old, the Springbank 25-year-old. We also had the Kilkerran 8-year-old Sherrywood, and we also had batches of the Springbank 15 and also the 10-year-old. I participated in a ballot as part of a tasting that I went to, and unfortunately I was unlucky, didn't manage to get a bottle of the local barley, but I managed to get a bottle of the Kilkerran 8-year-old and the Springbank 15-year-old. So we'll just do a comparison between the two batches. So this one is batch from last year, 090523 I believe, and this one right here is labeled 1823. Okay. So I poured the two drams, haven't added any water. I don't think I'm going to be adding any water with this one. These drams have just been resting for about 20-25 minutes. So let's just get on to the tastings first of the 15-year-old batch 090523. Okay, so up front I'm getting some minerals, so definitely some chalkiness. There's some raisins, raisinated fruits, honey, some maltiness, some obvious wood influence from the barrel. Comes across as sweet, but you can smell there's a bit of sharpness there too. I'm thinking some tropical fruit nature. There's maybe just a tad bit of dirtiness on this one as well. Maybe some of that sort of Campbelltown funk, and also some that Campbelltown soot as well that I get. But lovely nose. I did enjoy this one, this particular batch from last year. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. Okay, so let's just compare it to this latest batch. So this is 1823. Obviously, it's not been opened. The bottle hasn't been open as long as this one, but we'll just do a comparison on the nose. Tropical fruit nature definitely comes out and pops straight away for me. Molasses, some caramel, dried fruits, chalkiness, earth, soil, wee bit of funk, some honey, and some malted barley. This one I think comes across perhaps a tad fruitier than this one, than the last year's batch, for me anyway. The tropical fruit notes pop out a bit more for me first. This one doesn't feel quite as dirtiness. It doesn't have the same sort of dirtiness I get on this one though, on the older batch. Maybe a bit of licorice there too. Okay, so both lovely noses, and a little bit different, not hugely different, but definitely this one from last year has a slightly dirtier profile in my opinion. Okay, so let's just have a wee taste and see what we get from this batch from last year. So quite oily, medium viscosity. I would say it greeted first of all with the some minerals, some chalkiness, and definitely that dirtiness, that dirty character I got on the nose. Quite sooty. Lots of that Campbelltown soot. And then after that, greeted with some red fruits, tropical fruits, some molasses, definitely some sherry character there, obviously, some wood, dark chocolate, definitely, a little bit of sugar, some brown sugar, and then sort of in the finish it just carries on with that mineral edge and that dirty Campbelltown soot on the end comes up quite strong. And I love that sort of influence. I love that sort of sooty nature. It's very different to anything you get from Islay. It's not really peat as such. It's more. I think it comes across as more smoky for me rather than peaty. A little bit drying in the finish, but that dirty edge just remains, and I really like that in this particular batch. Okay, guys. So highly enjoyable on the taste and in the finish. Okay, I'm just gonna have a little bit of a sip of water quick. Okay, so let's just go on to the taste of the latest batch. So this was just released, 1/8/23. Okay. Yeah, that's very good as well. So, oily arrival. I think the viscosity on last year's batch, I think this one's a tad bit thicker for me. I'm not saying this is thin, but definitely for me a thicker mouthfeel on this particular batch, last year's batch. And initially I'm greeted more with those tropical fruits, definitely more fruity on initial arrival, in my opinion. And then sort of mid-palate is when the minerals start to come. So you get that chalky atmosphere, pebbles, some barley, definitely some dark chocolate now appearing in the finish, with a bit of Campbelltown soot, a little bit of smoke as well. But in my opinion, this one is comes across, in my opinion, as being more clean in a sense. Don't quite get as much dirtiness from this one, from this latest batch, compared to last year's batch, in my opinion. I mean, it could be that this one needs more time in the bottle, and maybe that sort of element will come out a bit more. But for me, that's there's a little bit of soot now coming out again in the finish. So yeah, both highly enjoyable in my opinion, guys. Quite difficult to choose my favorite one. I think my personal favorite at the moment is probably last year's batch. I definitely, for me, I like that dirty profile that I get from Springbank, and definitely more dirtiness, and in my opinion, more smoke, and more of that Campbelltown soot in last year's batch. This year's batch, well, this batch that was just released, definitely a cleaner profile in my opinion. So I guess it really just depends on what you want from your drams, guys. If you prefer a dirtier sort of profile, like I do, then perhaps go for the last year's batch if you can get it. But if you prefer the more clean, polished sort of If you prefer your Springbank more clean and polished, probably go for this latest batch. I mean, both are excellent, and both are well worth your time exploring and tasting. And I do enjoy doing these comparisons, because it's always nice to see what the differences are between the two drams. But yeah, for me personally, last year's batch, just more my sort of style, more my sort of. I just enjoy that sort of that dirtier profile in my Springbank, but that's just me. Okay, guys. Anyway, guys, yeah, I think that about wraps it up for now. As I said, I'm not going to add water, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little wee comparison. And if you can find a bottle of either of them, I think you'll be very happy. Okay, so guys, if you enjoyed my content, then please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's always appreciated. But as usual, folks, nothing much else to say, except have a fantastic day, and I'll see all of you again soon. Take care. Cheers.